Yesterday, I introduced a powerful concept that I would like to revisit today. Numbers can lie. Statistics can lie. Your data can lie. But today, before I go into day number 5, which is all about tracking weekly progress, I would like to slow down a little bit and revisit the concept I shared with you yesterday, how numbers can lie. And why this is particularly important, because I believe that if you don't understand how numbers can lie, introducing the new concept of tracking your weekly progress can do more harm than good. And to better illustrate that, let me just give you a perfect example. Dimitri here. I specialize in helping people re-engineer the potential so they can go on to the next whatever result they're getting within 12 months. All right, let's get right into it. Here's a perfect example to illustrate what I'm trying to say. Imagine you live in Paris and you would like to go from Paris to Brussels, and you have to drive because you say you want to experience how your car feels on the road as opposed to taking the train from Paris to, let's say, La Gare du Midi. You go to your car, you do a visual inspection of the vehicle. You go around the vehicle and you see that, yes, all tires look good. You look at the windows, you look at everything looks good. And you say to yourself, because the car looks good on the outside, let me just go inside and check what needs to be done. You go and check the car and you see that, yes, the engine is telling you that when it comes to the gas, the gauge is telling you that, yes, it's almost empty. So you have to run to the gas station. So you say, yeah, that's okay. I have more than enough to get to the gas station, so I'm going to make that happen. You start driving, you reach the gas station, and you go to the attendant. You say, please, fill it up for me. They fill it up, and they give you the receipt, and you pay. Yes, this is X amount I put as far as filling up the tank is concerned. Then you put the key in the ignition, and you start the car because you want to move forward. And guess what? To your surprise, the car won't move. You are completely puzzled because you look at the receipt that you receive from the gas attendant, and you look at the gauge on your dashboard. It's showing that, yes, you've put, let's say you put 120 euros when it comes to filling up your tank. And you can see that the dashboard is saying that, yes, the tank is full. But why is it that the car all of a sudden won't move? You are puzzled and at the same time becoming a bit frustrated because you say to yourself, this does not make sense. I drove to this place and this car is not supposed to start again and move forward, but it's not moving at all. So as you're sitting there trying to figure out what's wrong, and the customer happens to be walking by, ask you what's going on, what's wrong. You say, I'm trying to move forward, but the car won't move. I can start the car, but it's not moving at all. And I know I put gas, and here's the receipt to prove that I put gas. The gentleman simply asked to see the receipt and say, yeah, you put gas. So is the car starting? Car starting. So let me just come inside and see what is happening. The gentleman comes inside, they start the car is starting. And say, yes, I agree with you. The gauge is showing that, yes, you put gas. And I can see that everything else is going fine. But there's something else that you haven't looked at. And you say, what is it? Say, but there is a engine light on, which telling me that there could be potentially something wrong to prevent the car from moving forward. And the gentleman simply said to you, yes, moving the car is not just about focusing on one metric, but it's about looking at every other metric that actually showing on the dashboard, and also specifically paying attention to any signal that may show you that there's potentially something, because the engine light is telling, yes, it's not giving a quantity as to how many things have been broken, but it's simply telling you that potentially there's something wrong with the engine, and because you're not paying attention to this particular engine light, it's not going to move forward. Number one. Number two, I don't know how long this engine light has been on. I don't know how many days, how many weeks, how many months you'll be driving with this engine light on, and because of that, this could have potentially led to something really huge, and we won't know until we open the hood to see exactly what is happening as far as the engine is concerned. Here's now how this applies to you. Most business, they only focus on the metrics that make them look good and feel good. Oh yeah, we are doing good when it comes to our revenue. We are doing good when it comes to this particular thing. So they're only paying attention to the metrics that make them feel good as executive, as business owner, and as people who are supposed to go to work to make things happen. But every other metric that doesn't make them feel good, look good, or sound good, they try to ignore them. Any other signal that can be quantified that's coming to them as a way of saying that yes, there is potentially a danger, they're simply trying to ignore it. That's just for business people. But when you also go to families, when it comes to relationships, same thing applies. As a matter of fact, perfect example. The body is saying to you that yes, something is wrong with your eyes. You need to go see the doctor. But you're saying to yourself, because I sleep on a daily basis, I sleep all the hours I'm supposed to be sleeping. I spend 8 hours in the bed. I drink as much water as possible. So I don't believe that what I'm feeling right now, as far as my eyes are concerned, is so bad to the point where I need to go see the doctor. But the longer you wait, the more dangerous this thing can potentially become. Because by the time you're going to go see a doctor, they could tell you that yes, if we had attended to this long time ago, it would have possibly avoided this particular surgery that we have now to perform. Why? Because you spend way too long with this engine light on as far as the engine is concerned, without going to a mechanic to see how potentially things were actually going bad as far as the engine is concerned. So again, as far as the numbers are concerned, as far as data are concerned, when it comes to numbers, it is true, they can lie. The lies is not so much the numbers are telling you something that is not correct. The lies are simply that the numbers are telling you something that is incomplete without the full context in which you actually get to see the numbers. And this is something really key that you have to understand before we move forward to the meat of day 5 when it comes to tracking your weekly progress as far as your business or your own personal performance is concerned. All right, before I go any further, if this video resonated with you, I will simply ask you to do one key thing: like this video, share this video as many people as possible so we can actually continue to grow together. And last but not least, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that next time we put together, you can be amongst the first one to see the video. Because as I keep saying, numbers indeed can lie. Numbers can lie specifically in the context where you are not paying attention to the overall big picture and every other things within this context that can tell you that yes, the numbers that you're looking at are simply incomplete. There's something much bigger you need to focus on, because if you don't, what's going to happen is you'll find yourself stranded like this driver who was trying to go from Paris to Brussels and at the full tank, but what they failed to realize is that having a full tank and having a car that looks good on the outside does not mean that the car is fit when it comes to driving from point A to point B, because there could be other issues that you have to pay attention to. And those issues can be easily dictated by simply looking at the whole dashboard, not just what you want to see, but looking at the whole dashboard to see if there's any other information that you need to pay attention to. And let me just end with this particular funny story. A few years ago, I traveled to Africa. And as a guide, I was spending time with one of my family members. She tells me that yes, she used to drive Mercedes, but she stopped driving Mercedes because she realized as she's driving Mercedes with a driver, the driver kept complaining because the car was talking too much. I say, what do you mean? Yeah, because from time to time, the dashboard will give a message saying that yes, XYZ is missing, this is missing, this need to be attended to. And they love to drive the car, they get into the car, they start the car, they go from point A to point B, and all you have to do is just put in the gas, and from time to time go to the mechanic for oil change, and that's it. Everything else is too much for them. And Mercedes at the time was becoming a bit too loud, telling them way too much as far as how to drive the car is concerned. And I started chuckling. Because it says, my goodness, only if every other car out there could speak like that, my goodness, the roads would be much safer, because there are many people on the road who only focusing on one key thing: putting the gas, doing an inspection outside. If everything was okay, they believe that the car is actually fit to go from point A to point B. But what they don't realize is that yes, there could be other issues basically hiding right in front of them, and they're not seeing them because they're only used to focusing on what they love to see. And this is potentially the biggest danger as far as driving is concerned. Not just driving the car, but driving your business and driving your own personal life. If you're only focusing on what makes you feel good, what makes you look good, and what makes you sound good, there's a problem, because your whole job as a CEO of your business, as a CEO of your life, is to look at the whole dashboard and to look at the whole car and to pay attention to everything that you see and don't see. And when it comes to things you don't see, pay attention to things that can be quantified, but are simply there as a signal saying that yes, there is potentially a danger. You need to stop at the next mechanic to see if they can help you pay attention to what is happening or whatever the company is trying to tell you. All right, much love everyone. I'm out.